Hi, I'm Marta, and this is the Dolls Rescue channel, and today we are doing the kin craft. I mailed out, what, 2, 4, 6 kin dolls, fashionistas. Darren made stands for each person, and we threw in the glasses, which I just think are cute. And I also sent patterns. Now, I'm going to have the link below for anybody that wants to participate in this. I'm going to have the link below for these patterns, but I'll tell you, the shirt I printed at 115%, and the pants I printed at 125%, and they still need to be longer or they come out like this. And I don't like high tide pants. So what I'm going to do is add enough here so that these pants go down to the ankle. The people participating in this, we're all going to put up a video on June 30th at 10 a.m. And the participants are, and this is kind of fun, Jamie, and Let's Talk About It with Jamie, Unicorn Rainbows Toys and Dolls, Tina's Reborns and More, Ella Avar, I'm sorry. Okay, forgive me on the pronunciation of this. Aniong BJDs. Now, I know I'm saying that wrong, so there's a description below, and she can correct me also. And the Real Prince Club. We're all doing this particular pattern, as is, on a tutorial. And the idea is to show that any beginner can take a pattern like these simple patterns and make outfits for their Barbie, Kens, any doll. If you participate in our craft for your Ken doll, we're uploading June 30th at 10 a.m. And if you will add the hashtag KenDollClothes2022, people will be able to come to your site and see what you did too. The rest of us are going to list one another in the description so you can go and see everybody's. I chose these two fabrics. I am going to use black thread so you can see exactly what I did in my tutorial to show how to make these outfits. The first thing we're going to do is take a pair of scissors that are not your fabric scissors and cut out the pattern. Then you get your fabric out, and I'll show you how we're going to pin that down. When you're ready to cut your fabric, this is how I do it to save fabric. You don't want to take your pattern and put it in the middle and cut it out there. And you could come to this edge, your selvage edge, and cut there. But what I do is I take one end and I open it up, and I fold it over only as far as I need to do to get past the selvage end and still have room. Now what that does is it saves this end of the fabric so that it's still straight and gives you more usage out of that fabric. Now when I do the yellow for the shirt, I don't think there's any fold over, but let me show you if there were. If I were well, I could have done that with a gray, but here I am, so we'll just open this up. Most patterns have the front, rather than having it a whole piece, what they have is half, and you put that on a folded edge. So what I do is I fold over, say this is it, just enough like this, and that's how I would cut that out. Couple things, your shirt front and your neck lining is one piece, and so you don't double that fabric. However, you will need two of these, so the back, so you double that fabric before you cut it. Same on the pants. I wanted to point out that you lay your pattern on the grain of the fabric. That is not diagonal. I also wanted to tell you something real quick, and that is if you're making a skirt for, let me cut this out real quick, out of the way. Ah, my scissors are catching. If you're making a skirt for a Blythe or a any skirt for your dolls, one of the things you can do is use that selvage end and cut the fray off just a bit. And then when you fold that up, you have a finished edge. You could even leave that without hemming. My next step will be, I'll cut all these out, and then again, I'm using black thread so you can see it, but you'll be using the same color thread. Like if you were sewing this yellow shirt, you'd use yellow thread. I'm going to go around each piece all the way around with a zigzag stitch. You do not have to do that. It just finishes it nice, and I'm going to do it so you can see it, and you can see as we go the difference it makes. If you are sewing by hand, and I know a few of you are, just skip that step right there. Okay, this is what you'll have after you've taken these to your sewing machine if you choose to do this step. And you can see you just simply zigzag around the edges of all of the pieces, and that gives you a finished edge. Some people use fray check. I have found that on some fabrics, fray check will ruin it. It will leave marks, and not evenly either. Then the next step that I did was hem my pants legs. And I turned that over, I'll show you on here. I turned it over once over my zigzag, and then I turned it again using my fingernail to make that even. And I put the stitch in. From there, what you're going to do is make sure you have this done the correct way. Your stitching is already done for your hem, so make sure that is on the outside of where you are working. Fold your pants over, and on each side put in a seam right along your zigzagging, and at the cuff and at the crouch do a locking stitch. And what that is, on your sewing machine, you'll have a little knob right in the front, and if you're going forward 2 stitches, you push that downward, which gives you the backward stitch. You'll go back 2, 3, 4 stitches, and then go forward and do the same thing at the other end. If you see stuff in the background, it's because I am always working on multiple projects. This is your neck. You want to start right at the top, pushing this to the side, get it up under the foot, and this is how you add your knot or your lock stitch. And what you do is you go forward 2 or 3, you push the button. Some of you might have a slide, you might have a button that pushes in, but it should be here on your sewing machine. If it's not, it'll be underneath your wheel. And we're going to do that at both sides of our shirt. Then you lift the foot and, of course, cut your thread. The other thing I wanted to show you was, since I cut this skirt, this is very simple. I'll do a full tutorial later. How long did I make that piece? Not very. Just so that it's gathered just a little bit. And I have that selvage in on the bottom. What I'm going to do is always measure your elastic around your doll's hips so that you're not stressing your doll's hips. Cut that off, take a couple safety pins, feed that through, and then put your seam in the back. Okay, so at this point you're going to have 2 pieces like this. This is where I do it a little bit different, and that is I turn my legs inside right. This is how I do it. Okay, couple things. I don't know if it's because I'm dyslexic or what it is, but if I don't turn my pants in correct, right sides out, I mess up. Okay, the next step is to find your notch and make your seam for your Velcro. Now you can fold that over twice if you like, or you can fold it over once. And if we just take it once, what we're going to do is I'm going to take it twice. You can put darts in the pants once you try them on Ken before we pull the waistband down. I wanted to point out that I got the little skirt done for my rainbow high doll, and she looks in it about like I do. When you're small waisted, it slides up to the small spot and your butt looks huge. But there she is. That's all done, so that's a very easy craft for you thrown in. All right, here's what we have. We have our two sides turned under. I didn't take it twice, I just took it once so that you could see it well. What you're going to do is right sides together, line up your seams, your inseams. Bring it around. You can pin it if you like. And take your right sides together. You're going to sew, put a small seam in all the way around to where you took your tuck in, all the way around to there, and you want to put that lock stitch in at the back and at the top. At this point, we try them on Ken. I did want to tell you, let me pull this back off. When you're sewing on your sewing machine, first of all, I had trouble getting my two inseams to meet. So you can either pin that, or what I do a lot of times is start right there on that inseam and bring it around. This is a very slow stitch to add. You have to manipulate that fabric under the foot. I actually do it from this side, under your sewing machine, and pull so that you don't get folds like that in your stitch, and you just keep moving that along and go right beside your zigzag stitch. Just tried that on my Ken. I'm good to go. I could add, let's put these back on. I could add darts without a doubt, but I think I'm not going to. I think what I'm going to do is simply put the see, that extra stitch in there would have brought those pants to fit correct. And I might just do that, or I might just do the Velcro. I'm not going to add darts, but normally you could add a dart here and a dart here. So what I'm going to do at this point is take my waist down. I'm going twice. And then I'm going to add Velcro. And always remember, when you use Velcro or hook and loop, whichever, I use actual Velcro, always have the sharp side, it's not really sharp, but hard side away from the doll. And then your soft side goes towards your doll, to the inside. So here are the simple pair of trousers. Now, I didn't move this over far enough, but it worked out. When you try your pants, get your top seam in, try your pants on Ken before you add your Velcro and snap, because you can cheat the waist by doing that a little bit. You'll see I have a little fold over. It's not a problem. No one will see that under his shirt, and you have a simple pair of pants. Next, we'll work on the shirt. If you're running into trouble making your Ken doll pants or shirts, leave the problem you're having in the comments, and I will try to help you. And other seamstresses and people that sew will also see that, and they might be able to help you even faster than I do. Thank you for watching part 1 of our Kin collab, where we're making the pants and the shirt. Tomorrow come back and we will do the shirt. This got a little long, and I figured you're going to be stopping it and going back and all of that, so we decided to do it in 2 parts. 2 things I want to add. Your Kin packet that it came in makes a great storage pack for Kin doll clothes if you don't have one already. And the St. Louis Doll Show is coming up very, very quickly. Let me know if you're coming. I would love to meet you. Jamie at Let's Talk About It with Jamie and I have some other things planned that you may enjoy joining in on. And Darren and I are making happy packs, and we would love to give you one too. It's not a big deal. It's just some little things in a packet that are fun for you and your dolls. Thank you for watching the Dolls Rescue channel. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe.